Is Top Raid the Top Gun?
Hey, what's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Dream Star Toys Top Raid. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. Right up front here, we have a nice image of Top Raid. His name is Top Raid. Up top, we have Top Raid. On the bottom, we have Top Raid. On the side, Top Raid. On the other side, nothing. On the back of the box, you have your obligatory product shots, and we have some QR codes. You want to scan them? Go ahead, free scan on me. You're welcome. Scanny, 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 scanny. That's basically it for the packaging. And moving right along, here we have Top Raid, the next component of Dreamstar Toys Encourager, their Superion, and this is their take on Air Raid. And first and foremost, I just want to say a big thank you to the good people at bumbusbee.net for sending this my way to take a look at. Thank you so much. Now, before anybody asks, yes, I have Silverbolt. Yes, I will get to him. Truth be told, I am just avoiding him like the plague, because even though he has the simplest transformation of them all, he is the most not fun. So yeah. But I'll get to him eventually when I muster up the courage to go through the suffering again. But anyway, let's talk about Top Raid here. Here he is in his robot mode. He is packed in robot mode. And let's get in close here so we can take a look not at those top rating abs, but at that top rating noggin. There's the noggin. You can see very nice head sculpt going on there. Of course, with all of these Dreamstar Toys aerial bots, lots of silver to be had. Tons of silver. A copious amount of silver. You can see his shoulder. I mean, there's a chest. Warns you of caution. That's a shoulder. That's a chest. Chest, caution. Shoulder, no caution. Chest, all the caution. But anyway, we got some little tamper-graphed details there in white and red, and even some bits of yellow throughout. Got some little bolts there on his waist. Again, some nice detail going on here. I do quite like the... This is where my tongue stops working. I do quite like the aesthetic of these aerial bots. For me, these definitely fit as like movie bots. I mean, maybe Bayverse or, you know, the Bumblebee movie aesthetic. Either way, I think these work great as movie aerial bots. What era you want to fit them into is up to you, but either way, I think they work great as movie bots. But you can see, you know, the backpack is pretty much like all the backpacks on these guys. Just kind of the wings all folded up back there, and the cockpit. But overall, I think they do look quite good. Now, articulation-wise, what have we got? Well, the head is on a ball joint, so you have lots of wiggly waggly. Can look up, can do a bit of squirrel. Can look down, head can do a full 360. The arms can do a full 360. You just have to kind of get around the backpack. Arms can move in and out. Now, due to the way things are shaped, that's pretty much as far as you're going to go. But you do have this joint right here that allows that outward movement. Nice and ratcheted. You do have bicep rotation. If you move the biceps out, then you can swing that arm out all the way on that joint there. You do have a double jointed elbow, so you have a nice full range of movement there. You have wrist rotation. The hands also have a hinge that allows them to move outwards, so you can say stop. You can stop. You can say stop in the name of love. As far as the fingers go, thumb is on a ball joint, and a hinge there, and another hinge there, although that second hinge is quite snug. And all the other fingers are on the ball joint at the base. You have a hinge, and another hinge, so they have all the joints of an actual finger here, although again, this joint at the tip is very snug on my copy anyway, but they do move, things that move. You do have waist rotation, which is ratcheted. You've got these little skirt pieces you can move out of the way if you need to. Legs can move forward that far, back about that far before the backpack gets in the way, outward. You can do the full splits and probably extra. You got thigh rotation. You have a double jointed knee going on there. Still doesn't really afford you more than about 90 degrees or so, but still, it is there. As far as the feet go, the toes cannot really move up. The toes can move down. And you don't have ankle tiltage per se. You more so just have toe tiltage. Now, as far as accessories go, we get some weaponry. We get his blasters here. You get two of them. They're the exact same. And see. Nice design here. Some nice detail. You get some silver on the barrel. Some silver bits there. Overall, A good looking, solid little weapon here. If you want to store it on his person, you can just flip up the handle and turn him around, and there are these tabs right here that will go into these slots here. So if you want, you can just store his weapons on his back. Hooray for storage, things you can do if you want to do it. But of course, you can take these and have him hold them as a aerial warrior should. Just flip down the handles, and it's the typical tab in the slot of the palm method of weapon holding. I do wish the tabs were bigger. You can see it's just some little tabs here. I do wish we got a bit of a heftier tab, and also the way this handle is designed and the way his fingers are, like you can't wrap the pinky around the handle perfectly, because if you kind of push it past a certain point, you'll actually knock the gun out of his hand. So you kind of have to have his pinky just kind of sticking out like that for him to hold the gun properly. So that design element could have been tweaked a bit, but I mean, he can still hold the guns. So as long as he can hold them, I guess that's all that matters. Although this one wants to fight me now. But you know what matters is that he holds the gun. There we go. He's holding the gun. That's what matters. He holds it. He holds it like he should. And he can pew pew bang bang, pew pew bang bang, and all of that good stuff right there. And you get the base of displayage, and it's the same base you get with all of the other ones, just done in black. You do have the light right here that can move up and down. You have the posable arm. You can plug it in here. You can plug it up front if you want to, depending on how you have things oriented. You do get the attachments for the base. This one right here is for the robot mode, and this one here is for the jet mode. And we can take this, plug it in, and this will plug into his booty, thusly. And there you go. You can now have him displayed on his base of displayage. Hooray for displayage. And the base does also have the light up feature, as they all do. Use the gun to activate it. It has magnets in it. You just boop it, and you get a blue LED that goes off in there. Pretty nice. And just boop it again. You can turn it off. And to install the batteries, you do have to take this all apart. You just remove this cap here. And I showed this off in one of the previous videos. There you go. You remove the cap, remove all this. There's a battery compartment. You do have to undo this screw here. You have to take this whole thing apart to be able to get that out. And it will take 3 SR521 batteries. The batteries on mine were already installed, but in case they're not on yours, this does take 3 SR521 batteries, which you can get pretty cheap on Amazon or wherever you like to get your batteries. And like all the others, the eyes do light up as well. You just take the gun and just boop him on the snoot. And there you go. His eyes glow a nice bright blue. So there you go. So there you have that. And now for comparison. Here he is with the Zeta Toys Air Raid. And here he is with G1 Air Raid, because he's precious. He's all yellow, but he is still oh so precious. And here he is with Masterpiece Starscream, just to give you that sense of scale there. Here he is with MPM Prime, with the other MPM Prime, because again, I feel like these can work very well as movie bots. And there he is with his other two bros, and man, that's a lot of silver. A lot of silver, but they look good together. They still look good together, so there you go. So that is basically it for the robot mode, so let's get down to transformation, shall we? Let's. So the first thing we'll do, we'll start off with the arms this time around. So you want to make sure that the hands are open and flat, like that. And you want to come here, you want to open up this little side panel right here, and this will shift down. You then want to rotate the arm outward at the bicep and bring it all the way up. You then want to rotate the hand so the palm is facing down, and then bring this panel up and shift it over. One thing we can do now, I always do it later, but we can do it now. Just take this other panel over here and just unfold it like that, and just leave that just hanging there for now. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And there we go, we got both arms done, so let's move on. So let's get working on this backpack here. So you just want to take these wing sections here, just kind of pull them out, and they're on double hinge, just drop them down. Just pull that out, everything will untab itself, and drop it down. Take the whole cockpit section here, and just extend all these hinges out like that. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take the panels here, flip them out, so they'll drop into a slot right here, and you just push it in, and just leave that there for now. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, just flip this little panel out, get into place, and just slide it down like so. So now we'll work on the chest, so just get under here and just pop his chest up. We're going to now open up this section here, open up the central section, and then just take his head and just kind of feed it through and just bring it up like that. And now we're going to open these panels up here. He's on a double hinge here, so just kind of get everything situated. So bring these panels out. You want to bring this little bit up for now, just to kind of get things out of the way so you have room to operate. And then you can close this back up. And then you're going to take these sections here. These sections will slide out. They pull out to the side. So you can then fold them up on the double hinge, and then slide them in, and they'll tab into the sides there. So again, just pull this out, and then bring it up, and slide that in, so it'll tab into the side. Then you can bring this little bit down. Bring this little bit down now. My tongue is just, yeah. So then just take the two halves and connect it all together, all nice and squozen like. Also make sure this bit also is on a hinge. Make sure this is completely straightened out as well, so that's sitting nice and flat. And all that should sit nice and flush like so. Now before we can get this in its final resting place, we do need to move these bits out of the way. Just flip that out, and flip that out on both sides. So once that is done, this section here has two tabs for two slots, so you just rock that back and sit that in there like so. So now for the cockpit, we're going to take this section here and rotate it around. Pull up the landing gear, and we can take these side panels here and just bring them up. We're not closing it up just yet, but you just want to bring it up like that. And now we want to bring all of this up, straighten all that out. That'll tab in there. This will come up and over like so. And there will be tabs that will go into slots right here in the landing gear. So just get everything situated, and everything should just drop right in on either side, like that. Once that is done, we can take these sections here and bring them down. We have a tab slot connection that's going to happen right there, so just drop it down, and it'll just tab right in, drop it down, and it'll just tab right in like so. So now we're going to do us some leg work, and I like to start on the left leg. So what we're going to do is we are going to untab this fin here, and then untab this fin from the other side, untab that, and once we've done that, this section right here will untab. So drop that down like that. Once you've done that, you want to now open up this section here. So just grab this and pull it down. So now you're going to take this section and fold that in. You want to bring the foot down, leave this bit up, bring the foot down, fold down his toe, and then rotate the toe 180. And then take all this and tuck it in. Once you've done that, you can close this back up, bring up this thruster, and bring that down over it. And now that that's done, we want to do a little bit of work on his knee. So we want to bend the top joint. It's a double jointed knee, so bend the top joint, the ratcheted one, and then take the kneecap here and just slide that up and out. Flip this little bit in, and then we're going to take this little section here, open this up. Actually helps if you bend that secondary joint. Open that up, and then you can take this and swing it out to the side. Once you've done that, you can close that back up and straighten the leg back out. So now to work on this stuff here. So what we need to do is we need to untab all this. This will just swing open like so. And this is on a hinge here, so undo that. And also untab this fin here. That will allow you to then open this up like this. And you can now take all this and swing it around. And just swing it back. So now what we need to do is we're going to take this section here. We're going to rotate it 180. So it is now in this orientation. And now this fin will straighten out and then just slide it down so it locks. This fin will just slide over. Has the little tab slot connection right there. Just bring that down. This fin, rotate this 180. And there is a little tab slot connection that happens right under here. Just take that, just push it up, slide in place, and you got it looking like that. Once that is done, you want to make sure that this hinge here is actually pulled up. It is on a little bit of a slider, so make sure that's pulled up. It'll click into place. And then we can straighten all that out like so. And then we can take this, bring it in. There's a little tab slot connection that will happen right there. Just line that up, and that will just drop in like... There we go. It'll drop in like that, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And there we have both sides done, so let's move on. Now before we connect the two halves together, we do have to do some work on this crotch here, so bring the crotch plate down, take these, and just bring them up like that, and then just rotate all of this around, like so, and make sure that these side panels stay up, because you want to make sure that everything ends up sitting nice and flush so it looks like that. Once you've done that, now we can connect the two halves. Just bring them up. Get the left side in place first, because that makes life the easiest. And then you bring this up and over. And you see you have tabs that will go into these slots here, that'll go over these slots. So get that all into place. And once that is done, you just take it and just tab it all together, push it all together, like that. These may come undone on you while you're doing all that. That's fine. Just get it all situated again. But there you basically have the back half of the jet all done. So now we can get the arms in place. So what's going to happen here is we have a tab that's going to end up just right here in this hole, and we have a tab right here that's going to end up in this slot right there. So you just bring this down like so. You want to make sure this hinge comes all the way in. Just make sure you get that last click, because if you don't, things will not sit right. There you go. You want that sitting nice and straight there. So now once you've done that, you just want to get this tab in here, and usually it helps if you just kind of like bend the elbow up a little bit. And you can get that to seat itself right in there, like that, so it's sitting nice and flush. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And there you go. And once the arms are in place, we can now take these sections here and just bring them down. You're going to have a little tab slot connection right here. So just take that and just pop that into place. And just shift that down and just pop that into place like that. And now we can take these two halves here and just connect them together like so, and bring them down, and they will just tap themselves into place right there like that. And we're at the home stretch here. Just got to do the wings, so you're just going to just unfold all of this. You can see you have little tab slot connections here, so just kind of slide it down and just tab that into place, slide it down, tab that into place, and line this up and tab that into place, and then this will come up, tab slot connection there, this will rock up, tab slot connection right there, just to further lock everything down. Make sure that this bit, if it hasn't done it for you already, make sure this bit is rotated down, and then this is just going to, you want to lift it up a bit because this section has to kind of come up and over and drop right down in there, and then the rest of that will just tab into place like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, second verse, just like the first. And there's the other wing in place, and there you have Top Raid in his alt mode. Not bad, not a bad spin, but there he is in his alt mode, and it looks gorgeous. I mean, the alt modes on these aerial bots are absolutely gorgeous. They look so good. But let's get in close here so we can take a look at the details. Of course, we have a lot of silver. As always, a lot of silver. We have the slightly tinted transparent plastic there for the cockpit. We can open the cockpit, so you can see the seats in there. Very nice. Of course, we've got some little tampograph details. Some red, some darker gray. Again, lots of nice panel lining there, molded in. We got the little bolts there on the wings. Overall, some nice detail. Tail fins there, nice thrusters. As you can see, a very slim, sleek profile. It's definitely not robot under a jet. You can see how everything just comes together nice and sleek and smooth-like. Very, very nicely done. And there is the top. There is the bottom. You get those rolling landing gears. So you can roll like flying things roll. Hooray for flying, rolling things. And for comparison, here he is with the old Masterpiece Seeker mold. So you get a sense of scale there. With the Zeta Toys Air Raid. And with G1 Air Raid, because he's precious, oh, so precious. Whoosh. And here he is with the other two, so you can see how that is coming together so far. And they look quite good together, so there you go. And as far as his accessories go, yes, you can store them on the jet mode. All you're going to do is just flip them over and use these tabs right here. And just drop the guns in. This takes a little bit of feeling around, but there you go. They'll drop right in and drop right in like so. And there you have the weapons stored underneath the wings. Hooray, hooray for storage. Gotta love it. And of course you can use the base of displayage for the jet mode. You want to use this connector here. Just pop that on and it will go into these two slots right here. Just hang it and just drop it in. Just give it a little slide back. And there you go. You can now have your aerial bot in flight. Yes, you can flip up the landing gear. I'm just not bothering with it, but just to give you an idea of how it looks there on the stand. So there you go. So that is basically it for the alt mode, and I think it looks gorgeous. And I think this is the first one that didn't end up with any kind of gaps either. I actually came together quite nicely. But let's get down to transformation again, shall we? That was better. But anyway, transformation. Let's get down to it. So now to get him into combined mode, first thing we're going to do is take these sections here, just bring them up and back, and just tab them in. Bring it back and tab that in. And now we're going to undo the wings. So just pop this open and just get these wings out of the way as best you can so we can work on this. So we're just going to bring this out. And what's going to happen here is we're going to rotate this section down. Not the whole thing, just this back section. We're going to rotate this down on this hinge. Make sure this fin gets untabbed and comes down. So it ends up like this. And then this is going to rotate up. And you want to make sure that the hinge is sitting like this at this angle. And once you've done that, you can take this and you can plug that back into place. So what's going to happen now is this fin right here is going to tab over this slot here. So just line that up. Again, you have a lot of hinges to work with here, so make them work for you. Line that up and then bring that back and tab that in there. Again, the swing kind of gets in the way, but like that. And then this fin will just tab in right here to the side. Like that. Get all that together, and that's how you want that looking. Same thing on the other side. And there you go. You got it looking like that. Of course, you can't flip these landing gear in, and we can move on. Now for the wings, we're kind of going back into robot mode, so just start undoing things here and getting that loosened up. This section you're leaving as is, but the other two sections, just undo all that. And then just accordion all of this. There are tab slot connections for all these panels, so just line them up and plug them in like so. Actually, you want to leave this one undone for now because we need to take the wing and we're going to rotate it 180 like that. And then we can take this tank section here. You want to flip the tip around like so. And now we can actually seat all this back where it was. Like that. And now we're going to rock all this up on this hinge right here. So bring this up and over. You do have to get it over this little slot here as well. So just be mindful of how you are manipulating things. And sometimes it can be a little hard to get going because this hinge is actually pretty stiff on my copy. Of course, now it wants to fight me, because everything has to fight me when the camera's on, doesn't it? Of course it does. In the JTI, I did this so easily, but now it wants to fight me. Because, of course, there we go. Bring that up and over. Ain't that always the way? So once you do that, there's a tab slot connection right here, and that will just drop into place. There you go. When it feels like cooperating with you, it works beautifully. Alright, get this all folded back up, get this all tabbed together, and there you go. That's how you want all that looking right there, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so there we have both sides done, and that's what you want them looking like, and now we can move on. So now we can undo this nose cone section here, just get all of this freed up. That little wiggle, 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 so you can get this up like so, and free this section up. This side really likes to hold in. A little too much. There we go. So what we're going to do here is we're going to flip the landing gear in and rotate all of this back around like we're going back into robot mode. Make sure that this comes all the way down, and then we can close this back up. Once we've done that, we just bring it back, and there is a tab right here on the cockpit that will go into the slot right here, and that will just drop right in and secure itself in place like that. And this is the one instance where I end up with a gap here, and I don't know what to do about that. I might just have things wrong in there, but anyway, that's how you want that looking. And lastly but not leastly, for this section here, we're pretty much going back into robot mode, so we're just going to open this up, flip these panels back in. You do want to flip this bit out here. We're going to rotate all of this down. We can take these chest pieces here and slide them back into place. And what's going to happen is this bit will tab into a little notch right there. So just line that up, drop that in like so. And there you go, and there you have Top Raid in his combined mode, and that's a shin. That's his shin mode. Okay, there you go. This compacts up and ready to receive a foot. But yeah, that is basically it. It does what a shin does, and it's doing it beautifully. So there you go. So there you have Top Raid, and yeah, so far he seems to be the best of the bunch. The robot mode looks really good, the jet mode looks gorgeous. The transformation does have its fiddle factor. So far all these figures have their fiddle factor, but nothing to a really frustrating degree, not like Silverbolt, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But he definitely feels like the most solid of them all so far, so like I said, yeah, I think he's the best of the bunch. So, there you go! And now, if you would like this figure for yourself, you can check out bumbusbee.net. I'll put a link to their site in the description down below so you can check them out. You can also get these from BigBadToyStore.com, as always linked in the description down below, so you can check that out as well. You can also check out the Encourager playlist for any reviews you may have missed, also linked in the description down below, so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love, Peace, Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the Dream Star Toys Top Raid, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, palm in your face.
I don't even know what I'm looking at. Air Raid reporting for duty, sir. Ah, another aerial bot. Why do you guys only show up one at a time? Are you supposed to be a team? Shipping times vary, sir. Ah, makes sense. So what is your specialty? What can you do?
What can I do? What can't I do is more the question.
Okay, what can't you do?
There's a lot I can't do, actually.
Why's that?
Well, it all started off with my parents.
Okay, we're not going into all that.
That's a little insensitive, don't you think?
Yeah?